Welcome back. Today we're diving into part 16 of our Ultimate Wealth Masterclass Explainer, and we are cracking the psychological code and the raw mathematical formulas behind viral velocity. Look, at this stage in your journey, your foundation is probably flawless. You've developed your high-income skills, you've automated those back-end operational pipelines, and you're starting to build a really powerful personal brand architecture. But the second you step into the public arena to distribute that value, you are going face-to-face with the most brutal, uncompromising competitor on earth, the algorithm.
So to guarantee your message doesn't just die in obscurity, our agenda today covers 4 structural phases. 1. The war for attention. 2. The actual math of virality. 3. The high retention blueprint. And 4. Conquering the digital feed. Let's get right into it.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the war for attention.
To really grasp this, we have to establish the sheer brutality of the modern digital battlefield. The reality we're dealing with is that the human brain is just being absolutely bombarded with information, so much so that the average attention span has literally plunged below that of a goldfish. Right now, as we're speaking, millions of creators are uploading billions of gigabytes of content every single minute. You aren't just competing with other people in your specific niche anymore, you're essentially competing against the entire internet for just a tiny fraction of your viewers' cognitive bandwidth.
And that brings us to a literal life or death scenario for your content. If you cannot capture and honestly manipulate someone's attention in those critical first 3 seconds, your brand is doomed. I mean, it doesn't matter how incredible your product is or how brilliant your insights are, if you lose them right out of the gate, your message dies in absolute obscurity. So what's the mathematical fix for this?
Well, to answer that, let's move right into Section 2, the math of virality. We have to destroy the biggest illusion about going viral, and to do that, we have to look strictly at the numbers. You see, amateur creators foolishly believe virality is all about random art or luck or hitting the perfect internet trend. But honestly, that's just a comforting lie told by people who failed. The platform algorithm is actually a blind optimization engine running purely on raw math with one goal: keep users on the app. It doesn't care about your art, it only cares about data. So let's break down the 2 exact data points it's measuring.
The first absolutely non-negotiable metric you have to master is CTR, or click-through rate. This is governed entirely by your title and your thumbnail. It's just the percentage of people who choose to click on your content when it pops up on their feed. And here is the golden rule. If that number drops below 6%, the algorithm instantly stops showing your content to new users. Period. It just assumes your content is irrelevant and cuts the cord.
But here's the kicker. Even a perfect CTR is totally useless without our second metric, AVD, or average view duration. Let's say you have a brilliant thumbnail and you're pulling a 15% CTR. Awesome, right? Well, if those viewers click away within the first 5 seconds, you are immediately flagged as low-quality clickbait and buried forever. AVD measures how deep into the content your audience stays, and it is the ultimate indicator to the algorithm that you're actually satisfying the user.
So the million-dollar question is, how do you practically structure an addictive storyline where every single sentence literally forces the viewer to stick around for the next one? How do we build that bridge from the initial click to a massive 60% retention rate?
In exactly 90 seconds, you'll have the answer as we unlock Section 3, the high retention blueprint.
To maintain that crazy high retention, the explainer outlines that you absolutely must understand the psychology of dopamine resets. You have to recognize that the human brain is always actively looking for an excuse to exit. When someone is watching your content, their brain is constantly scanning for boredom, so it can swipe away to the next hit of dopamine. You have to actively prevent this using strategic structural microhooks.
You can actually architect a high-performance cognitive experience using this specific 3-part script anatomy: the urgent hook, the open loop, and visual pacing. Let's break down exactly how you execute each of these to completely lock in your viewer's focus.
Starting with the urgent hook in those first 3 seconds, you must state a high-stakes problem or a shocking reality that directly impacts the viewer. And please, whatever you do, do not say, "Welcome back to my channel." Actually, scratch that. Just delete that phrase from your vocabulary entirely, because frankly, no one cares about your channel. They care about their own problems. If you waste those first 3 seconds on a pleasantry, they're gone. You gotta hit them hard with the value proposition immediately.
Immediately after that, you introduce the open loop. This is where you present a really fascinating piece of information, but you promise the solution only at the very end of your explainer. This creates a powerful cognitive dissonance in the viewer's brain. It's like a mental itch that can only be scratched by staying until the final second.
You're essentially hacking human curiosity, making it psychologically uncomfortable for them to leave without knowing the answer.
And that brings us to the third step, visual pacing. Basically, by mapping out a timeline where you change visuals, zoom the camera, or add sound effects every 4 to 6 seconds, you are tricking the brain into experiencing a brand new stimulus. It prevents boredom from ever even having a chance to set in. You aren't just delivering information anymore, you are architecting a fully immersive experience.
Which perfectly sets up our final section, conquering the digital feed.
When you combine those open loops with dynamic visual pacing, your metrics are just going to skyrocket. And once you crack this algorithm loop, you hold the ultimate superpower of the digital age, the ability to generate attention on command. You can literally scale any software or build any business empire instantly without spending a single dollar on paid ads. It's a real game changer.
You have to stop viewing social media as just some consumer entertainment tool. That's how the masses use it. You need to start viewing it as an economic transmission line, designed to carry your brand straight to the top. Because attention truly is the modern oil. It's the most valuable currency on the planet right now, and the algorithm is simply the pump that extracts it.
The matrix of the algorithm is entirely yours to control now. But listen closely, because generating attention is really only half the battle. What good is viral velocity if you're caught in the commoditization trap, selling your time by the hour? Next time, in part 17, we are going to absolutely destroy the biggest illusion of the creator economy, the view count myth. 99% of people believe you need millions of subscribers and viral fame to make a six-figure income. It's a calculated distraction. While amateurs chase pennies from ad revenue, the elite 1% are building high-ticket asset structures. We're going to show you how to package your skills and AI systems into an irresistible premium offer using 3 pillars: the core asset, asset velocity, and high-proximity accountability. Because mathematically, it is so much easier to find 4 elite clients paying $2,500 a month for a real transformation than it is to get millions of views just to make that same amount. So master these metrics today, structure your hooks, and get ready to step into the high-ticket matrix. Stay sovereign, and we'll see you in the next one.